The CEO sat in his luxurious office, drenched in tension. His eyes were fixed on the lifeless computer screen. Nothing worked. The system had crashed completely. Files, client data, international deals, everything vanished in seconds. Billions of dollars were slipping through his fingers, and the empire he built was collapsing before his eyes. He rubbed his forehead, trembling, whispering to himself. How could this happen? But no one had an answer. His top engineers stood helplessly behind him, defeated. Just then, the door creaked open. A soft, uncertain voice filled the silence. "Sir, can I help you?" Everyone turned. It wasn't an engineer. It was the maid's young black daughter, standing there shyly with a cleaning cloth in her hand. Before we continue this story, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and like this video so we can bring you even more amazing stories like this one. Rexwood Technologies was the beating heart of Silicon City, a billion-dollar empire built on innovation and arrogance. Its founder and CEO, Michael Reeves, was known for his perfectionism. Every morning, he arrived before dawn, demanding excellence from everyone, but offering compassion to none. Among the unseen workers keeping the company spotless was Martha, the office maid. She cleaned the same halls where powerful men shouted orders, and no one ever looked her in the eye. She had worked there for years, quiet, disciplined, and invisible. Each evening, Martha's daughter Amara waited for her mother to finish her shift. A curious, bright-eyed teenager, she loved peeking into the computer rooms, watching the engineers type lines of code like magicians casting spells. She didn't have access to technology at home, but she devoured knowledge wherever she could find it. Old library books, YouTube tutorials, free coding lessons on borrowed devices. Her dream was simple yet impossible, to one day work in a place like this. But she'd seen the way they looked at her mother, the dismissive glances, the whispers, the unspoken barrier that said people like you don't belong here. Still, she believed knowledge had no color. So when Martha was called in that fateful morning to clean the executive floor, on the very day Rexwood's system crashed, Amara came along, waiting quietly in a corner as her mother wiped down desks. That's when she noticed it. Screens flickering red, engineers running from room to room, and the CEO shouting orders. Everyone looked terrified. Her mother tried to pull her away, whispering, "Don't get involved." But Amara couldn't look away. She could feel the problem in her bones, the same kind of coding glitch she'd studied 100 times before. And then, when all hope seemed lost, she spoke. "Sion, 5-7, min on 600 words, sir. Can I help you?" she said softly, her voice trembling. Michael looked up, confused, almost offended. Around him, senior engineers exchanged stunned glances. Someone even scoffed. "This isn't a toy, kid," one muttered. Another whispered, "Who let her in here?" But Amara stood still, clutching her cloth nervously. She didn't back down. Her mother tried to pull her out of the room, but something about Amara's calm confidence made Michael pause. He was a desperate man. His company's entire network had collapsed. Servers offline, backups corrupted, and foreign clients threatening lawsuits. Billions were at stake. And so, against every instinct, he said, "Fine, do whatever you think you can." The engineers rolled their eyes as she stepped closer to the CEO's desk. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. She didn't touch anything at first. She observed, breathing slowly, scanning the error logs and code lines flashing across the screen. Minutes passed. The room fell silent except for the quiet hum of failing servers. Then Amara spoke, not like a child, but like someone who understood the language of machines. "It's not the mainframe," she whispered. "It's the redundancy link. It's looping incorrectly. You're running two conflicting scripts that are overwriting each other." No one reacted. Then she typed a few commands, short, precise, confident. Suddenly, one monitor blinked to life. Then another, engineers gasped. Data started to restore itself in real time. She opened the system registry, restructured a corrupted file path, and reset the internal backup with a new sync command. Within minutes, the entire network flickered back online, smoother and faster than before. The room erupted in disbelief. Michael's mouth hung open. The same girl they ignored, the maid's daughter they'd never noticed, had done what an entire team of experts couldn't. Amara stepped back, wiping her hands nervously. "It's fixed now," she whispered. And just like that, she turned to leave. But Michael stopped her. "Wait." he said quietly. How did you know all this? She looked at him, her eyes full of quiet strength. I read, she said simply. I learn whenever I can. The board of directors arrived minutes later, demanding answers. They expected chaos, but instead walked into a miracle. Systems were back, clients were safe, and the company's crisis had vanished like smoke. Michael Reeves, the man known for never sharing credit, did something no one expected. He pointed toward the maid's daughter. She did it, he said. Whispers spread through the room. Some laughed, thinking it was a joke, but when the senior engineer confirmed it, silence fell. Martha stood frozen, tears welling in her eyes. For years, she had scrubbed these floors while being treated as invisible, and now, her daughter, the little girl no one saw, was being recognized by the most powerful man in the building. Michael looked at Amara with newfound respect. You saved this company, he said softly. You saved me. The engineers who earlier mocked her stood ashamed. One by one, they nodded at her in gratitude. For the first time in her life, Amara felt seen, not as a maid's daughter, not as a girl from the wrong side of the city, but as a genius who proved that brilliance knows no background, no skin color, no boundaries. Michael turned to the HR director. Offer her an internship, he said firmly. Effective immediately, Martha gasped. Sir, she's still in school. Then we'll make sure she finishes it, he replied. And when she's ready, we'll have a place for her here. In that moment, every wall that divided status, race, and power cracked, not because someone gave pity, but because truth had been seen. Weeks passed, and Rexwood Technologies was back stronger than ever. The story of the mysterious young girl who saved the company spread across the internet. News outlets picked it up, calling it a miracle from the shadows. Amara continued studying, this time with proper tools, mentorship, and recognition. She spent her evenings in the company's innovation lab, surrounded by the same engineers who once doubted her. Now, they sought her advice. As for Michael Reeves, he changed too. The man who once ignored the people who cleaned his floors began to see them differently. He realized that true talent could come from anywhere, even from those society overlooks. One morning, he walked into his office to find Amara and Martha cleaning together. He smiled and said gently, You don't have to do that anymore, Martha. You've done enough for this company, Martha smiled humbly. It's honest work, sir, she said, and I'm proud of it. Michael nodded, then looked at Amara. And you? I expect to see your name on one of our projects soon. Amara grinned shyly. You will, sir. As they left, the sunlight streamed through the tall windows, reflecting off the now perfectly running servers. The world often judges people by the color of their skin, their job title, or where they come from. But sometimes greatness walks in quietly, wearing a janitor's uniform and holding a mop, or in this case, a cleaning cloth. And when that greatness is finally recognized, it reminds us all. Genius has no race, dreams have no limits, and courage needs no permission.